Alright, so today is going to be another financial video for you guys. And it's just because I'm going through my taxes, still kind of compiling everything, uh, still trying to understand it all. But I really wanted to get into why it is super important for you to make sure you have some sort of program or system or notepad that you dedicate for this that tracks everything. Um, Before I got into business, um, since I was probably about 18 or 19 years old, I love numbers. I'm a numbers guy and a math guy. So I've tracked and budgeted every single cent I've ever made and ever spent. I just got in the habit of doing that and just watching and knowing where my money goes at all times. So when I decided to start my business last year, I've been going for a year now, I knew how important it was for me, just my personal happiness, to get a program that was going to separate my personal expense and my business expense. So I had all my personal accounts, and then I had a business account I opened, which was a business account. I just used it as a DBA. I opened a DBA account. So it still was a personal account because it used my social security number, but was a DBA because I had Welder Beast on there as well. And so that account was the only thing that ever saw income from Welder Beast and ever had outgoing for any Welder Beast expenses. And that account I linked to QuickBooks Online. That was the program I used. And why that was so important and why it's really hitting me this year, I'm just so thankful I already kind of started off with that aptitude to catalog everything, because as I did, what I ended up doing is I got started, I cataloged when I purchased my truck. I got the truck purchase date and expense. I've got the purchase date and expense of my welding machine, of my welding leads, of my tools, of my tool boxes. All this stuff I had, which I didn't realize was that big of a deal until I've been doing my taxes for itemizing and stuff like that. You need to know the date of purchase and exactly how much. You can't just wing it, and good lord, it's a nightmare trying to go through receipts if you keep receipts. So with QuickBooks Online, I'm not selling this, I'm not making any money from them. It just helped me because I was able to put down the expense, when it happened, how much it was for, and you can take a picture of the receipt for, whatever. If you have a picture receipt, I linked it to my bank account, so anything that ran through my bank account went through QuickBooks. All I had to do was catalog it or categorize it. It was a huge help, because two things. One, doing taxes, I know exactly how much I spent on fuel for my truck, fuel for my welding machine. Another one is tracking your mileage. It breaks down two ways. So right now the accountant's going to be helping me on which one's going to be better, fuel and repairs, or if mileage is going to pay out better. So you're really going to want to track your mileage as well. As you can get, I got Mile IQ. It just tracks for you all the time. It's always running. You just have to define it. What that travel is for. If you don't like being tracked, you probably don't want to use that. I really don't care. They can track us through our iPhones whether we want to or not, so I don't really care. So here's the major part about it, is that you know what you spent last year, so you have a better idea going into the next year. The first year is the most scary, but please take the time to track it, because it's going to make you so much more confident in year two, because you're going to know what you spent, what you're looking forward to be spending, and then you can have some numbers on what you're expecting for profits, because most of your expenses are going to be in the very first year, all that startup cost. Obviously I don't have to buy a truck or a welding machine or welding leads or all my tools and everything this year, so now it's just consumables. And then, obviously the other part of that is for your taxes, is if they ask you, okay, how much did you pay here and when was that purchase made, bam, you got it. You got the date and you got exactly how much it was, And if there's a receipt with it, you got a picture of the receipt too if you use QuickBooks Online or whatever application you use. So just keep that in mind, guys. It'll benefit you so much personally and for tax reasons, tax write-offs and such, and just for your business, just being able to track it and know when you need to cut back, when you can probably start spending more. Also another thing, I spend money on advertising. That was a huge one too. So I now know when they ask me, okay, how much are you planning on having in overhead? That's a tricky one for mobile welding because we don't really have overhead. I've got a home office, so I get to take a portion out of my house or what it costs me for my home, and then I have my truck. So there's not a whole lot of overhead. Marketing is a huge one. I currently spend about $500 in marketing, just through different avenues, social media, through my business cards, and, running around, fuel for just, meeting up with people and stuff like that. So having everything tracked, and then you can really kind of break down when it comes into you need to hit. I can't remember exactly what she had said when I was talking to the lady about it, but she had said you really need to try hitting that minimum of like a $10,000 business expense, overhead and stuff like that. So that really helps. I spend about, just average, obviously about $6,000 just in marketing expenses. That's part of overhead. So getting to understand your business, it'll help you understand the financials, because when people start asking you questions, you'll have the data. The data won't always make sense to you in the beginning, but when it gets to the right people start asking questions, you're gonna have, let me look at it, let me see, and then you'll have it, and then it'll start clicking in your head. It's all experience, guys. I'm just telling you that I can tell you this till I'm blue in the face, but it's not gonna really mean anything or be practical until you guys do it, and then someone comes and asks you, and then it all clicks. Like, oh, that's what Roby was talking about. Okay, yeah, I got this all categorized right here. This is what it cost me. And then they'll be like, perfect. When people ask questions and you have answers, that's when you start looking very professional. Keeping things in a shoebox and on a notepad, even though I made a joke about it, is one way to do it. But, man, we're in the 21st century. I'd get with the times, man. Technology is amazing. The things that you can do, the programs that are out there can really make your life so much easier as starting out mobile welding or any kind of welding business you want to start. The tech is there. Makes life so much easier. Just check it out. Again, disclaimer, I am not giving legal advice in any way, and I do not make any kind of profit or any kind of gains from talking about QuickBooks or anything. I just tell you what I use. They probably don't even know I exist. So, just so you guys know, hope you guys have a great day. As always, I'll talk to you later.